please join our FlyingNando Facebook group for more frequent updates.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Welcome to our channel.
Here's Fernando.
And that's Marlies. Good day everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is about a catamaran. It's called Blue Moon, owned by Julian. It's a 36 or 38 foot, I can't remember exactly. It's a home built. I don't have many more details. We are going to do a video and a review of the boat. So we'll do a video of the build and review of the boat, because Julian's going to take us sailing, although it's only on a vol. It's fine, we're going to go out in the boat and we'll do a review of how it feels and whatever. We don't know much, we can't comment much about performance and that sort of stuff, but we will do our own little review from that point of view. We met Julian just over 2 years ago when he was busy finishing off his boat. The issue is the outboard motors. The port side kept on cutting out, so you'll start it up and it will cut out. This is obviously an issue when you're leaving marinas, ports, whatever. The boat's basically been stuck in a marina for prolonged periods of time, because it's obviously unsettling and not nice to handle a boat like that. So after many discussions, 1 or 2 visits to Julian, we had a lot of discussions around this. There were people working on the boat. There was all kinds of things done on the motors to try and sort them out. The motors are Evinrude 50 E-Tec 50 or something, fuel injection 2-stroke. Julian bought the motors second hand from someone who had rolled his ski boat in the surf. So saltwater corrosion came to mind. Like I said, we had various discussions on the topic, and many people have had a go at fixing the issues. The issue is the motors will start, and like 4 or 5 seconds later, the port motor will cut out. A lot of things have been changed, or not changed, but swapped around between port side motor and starboard side motor. The computer boxes, or computer box I saw there, has been changed over. The coil packs have been changed over, and the fault stayed on the same motor. So it shows that those items were not faulty. So on a day, we would like to start it off by checking the batteries and the battery terminals and that sort of stuff. However, apparently I haven't seen the batteries. They are behind some bulkhead, which are extremely difficult to get hold of. So I measured the voltage on the wires coming to the motor, and I left that for an option going down the road. On a day, I noticed that the wiring harness coming to the port motor, the motor that keeps on cutting out, was taped up with insulation tape. This is the wiring harness that comes from the controls on the helm. Your main wiring harness for this whole the controls, all the stuff. The wires have been taped up. So when I saw the joint, I asked Julian, what happened here? And he said, no, that's how you bought it, so that's how it's always been. I really need to add that the previous owner sold these 2 motors for cheap because of the issues he was having. Yeah, so I started pulling off all that insulation tape, and the horror of insulation tape and the glue and the stickiness that leaves behind came out. I remember writing an article for an audio magazine where I wrote about this very same thing, that if you use insulation tape, it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. It's going to give you issues. That tape will eventually cause bad connections and will eventually cause you hassle. So I'm anti-insulation tape, except for certain situations. To join wires and that's not how you do it. Besides the insulation tape, what came out is wires. So the harness had obviously been damaged on the previous boat, on the previous application. And when the wires got damaged, the wires just got twisted together with an insulation tape put around. Where the one wire that there was a piece missing out of it, that wire was a short piece that was just added up in the space of 50-60 millimeters. There was a short piece of wire that's been added, all twisted together and just taped up. So what I did, I pulled all those joints apart, wire for wire. I soldered wire for wire, and I sealed it with heat shrink. Okay. It's not 100% sealed, so but it's closed. It's insulated with heat shrink the way it's supposed to be done.
Put it flat.
Where there was a piece of wire missing, I added a piece of wire into there, but soldered on both joints on both sides and heat shrink the way it's supposed to be done. Once that was done, I also went through every single wire. I also went through every single plug. Not spark plug, but your connection, your electrical connection plugs. What I found was that someone along the way had sprayed penetrating oil. It's very nice to keep up the moisture. However, the problem with that is long term it became sticky, and I can't say for sure, or I can't say it did or didn't, but it was sticky. I don't think that's a good connection for that. So I took contact cleaner and I cleaned every single plug I could get to, except for the plugs that go on the ECU. Those plugs were very difficult to pull off, and I thought if the issue is still there, we'll then go back and pull those plugs back, put in extra effort and pull those plugs off. However, I don't know if it will be necessary. Whilst we were there, we still had a little walk around in between Brian and having lunch, and had a look at some other boats that I've used to fill the footage here, so I can explain the story or explain the situation. We had a look at Julian's friend Sprout. Looks very nice. I believe it might come on the market sometime later on. I'm not sure now or a few years down the line. That would be a nice boat, a nice blue water cruising boat. Prouts are very nice boats, very nice catamarans. We can't say that the fault is gone for sure. On the panel, on your control panels, on your rev counter, it still shows an error. It shows an error of heat, although the motor is just started up, so it's not a heat issue. The water coming out the motor still feels cool, and it warms up slowly as we revved it. So we don't believe it's an overheating issue. It could be a sensor issue, but we just focus mainly on the cutting out. Just to see if the fault will shift over, what we did is the plugs that go from the wiring harnesses from the starboard and the port motor, that we swapped those plugs, we swapped the instrumentation around. So the instrumentation was swapped around and the fault that shows heat moved over to the other side. Okay, so there's a signal coming from the port motor that shows it's overheating. It's a false signal, we know that, but it needs to be sorted out, and with time we will sort it out. As long as the cutting out is gone, we can then work on everything else piece for piece. Why did I do this? As part of our channel, we are going to go sailing down the road. It's not going to be an immediate thing. I don't know much about boat systems. I think one of the easiest ways to learn is to get involved, to help other people for free. Go there and help them out. Take my technical knowledge. I have a broad technical knowledge. I don't like saying that because I sound like a lot of other people on a lot of other sailing channels, but I do have a technical background. However, I don't know boat systems. So this is a perfect opportunity. I help somebody out, and the experience I gain is priceless. So Julian, thank you very much for letting me work on your boat. It's your prized possession. It's a nice boat. I hope it's fixed, and we'll soon see. Thanks.
There's Fernando that came to help. Thank you, Fernando. You're a star. And I got a backup there, Milo.
Please join our FlyingNando Facebook group for more frequent updates.